Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Napick. Every week, we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions for ideas to enhance your success in all aspects of life. Successful Living with Bill Napick starts right now. Here's Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show. It is Successful Living with Bill Napick, and today, Successful Living with Local George and his guest, Zatrik Abdullah. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.
You know, we're a few weeks into the new year, but I'll still say Happy New Year.
Definitely. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
Happy
Yes,
New
sir.
Year.
Yes, sir.
And everybody listening. First, George, you're no stranger to this show and other shows that I do. You are a realtor, and one of your interesting things, you go by the name, your name's George Huntoon,
right.
But you go by the name of Local George. Why?
That's right.
Because people can remember you.
That's right. It's always good to know a local.
There you go.
That's what I say. No one's from here anymore. Everyone's either from another city, state, or country. So being from here all my life, I'm a local.
In fact, as I drove to the studio today, we see all kinds of license plates. This is the first time I saw a Massachusetts license plate coming on in here to the show. And also, thank you for your service, United States Marine.
That's right.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Incredible.
Yes,
Thank you.
Zatrik, let's tell people what you do in your company.
Well, again, my name is Zatrik Abdullah. I am with the VENDOCTOR LLC. We make custom vending machines for locals and celebrities as well, major brands that we've worked with. We also have a mentoring and coaching, business development curriculum, a studio. So we just we're a jack of all trades within the vending industry.
And the interesting thing about that, now I know we've just gone through the Christmas season, New Year, but in a way, Christmas is still going to come next time.
Exactly.
I would think when you say custom vending machines, that would be a perfect Christmas gift for somebody, some family, somewhere.
Absolutely.
Am I tracking?
Absolutely. On the right track. On the right track.
Because that's something people wouldn't think of.
They wouldn't.
Honey,
and it's residual income. I mean, you're putting your money into a gift that's going to keep on giving, honestly.
Hey, we're on to something, George, huh?
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
That was one of the reasons why, being that, talking about being an entrepreneur and being successful, that's why I wanted Zatrik to come in here because so I had met Zatrik several years back, probably maybe 10 years back at least.
10 plus years, yes,
and
yes, sir.
it was pretty interesting because being in the real estate business, I was in a building and I had got being an entrepreneur, I wanted to have some vending machines. So I went out and bought a few vending machines and I put them in my office building and a few others. And then one day, the key had broke or something on the machine. I couldn't get into it. So I remember I looked up on Craigslist, and there was Zatrik's number for a vending machine repair.
There you go.
And I called, and Zatrik drove right over and fixed my vending machine. And for whatever reason, we just started hitting it off. Zatrik looks, we look like two opposite people, that two totally different worlds almost,
Exactly.
And for whatever reason, we just kind of hit it off and just started talking and stayed in contact. But
yes,
and that was at the beginning really of Facebook. So I guess we kind of followed each other on there. But I really was impressed with your drive and your motivation and wanting to build a successful business.
I appreciate that.
And that's why I've kind of followed it. But your business has kind of evolved.
Drastically.
Now, are you from Houston? Did you grow up here?
Yes, born and raised.
Okay, so you are local.
I am a local
so,
as well.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
where'd you go?
Local Zatrik. Okay.
Yeah,
Local
local
Zatrik.
Zatrik.
There you
That's
go.
right. Now,
There
where'd
you
you
go.
go to high school?
I graduated from Yates.
Okay, so in
sir.
town. Very nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, when did you start getting involved in the vending machine business?
What year?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess what year? Probably 2 years after I graduated. I graduated in 1999.
Okay.
Around 2001 is when I was pretty much like thrusted into doing something positive with
Now,
my
did you
life.
get a machine and did you get like your first machine and put it in a building somewhere?
Exactly. I actually bought a turnkey business from a distributor of vending. So before my mom, I didn't have any cash or anything like that. So my mom actually financed my very first 2 vending machines.
Right.
And before she put her name on anything, she was like, you need to give me a whole business plan pretty much, or pretty much an understanding of what you're going to be doing.
Right.
And so right then she was kind of grooming me on how to write a business plan, how to do presentations and stuff, because I actually had to present this to her.
Right.
And so once she figured out, okay, he's very serious about this, then, we actually took it a step further, found a distributor, and then actually, went out and actually talked to her and closed our first deal.
So, and then did you start driving around on the routes, filling them up, collecting the money?
Absolutely.
Just like totally basic.
That's where you start off from. You could basically go to Sam's or go to your wholesale clubs, get your snacks. Back then, there wasn't any technology that was based in the vending machine, so it was hard to actually know these like forecasting, know these type of things beforehand. So you had to have a menu and actually go by that menu and then go to the location, gauge what was in the machine, go buy it and go back. So it was a lot of back and forth.
Right.
And it was very time consuming in the beginning. But yeah, we made it happen. We grew the business, and we just been rocking ever since then.
Now, did you, starting out, obviously you were pretty young, so
Correct.
you probably thought, man, this is pretty good money. I'm not having to work for a boss. I'm working for myself.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
What kind of challenges did you run into being a young person, trying to you had bought it, so your machines were kind of already in there. I bet a lot of people just thought you were just some worker employee. They didn't know you were the owner.
Exactly. And those were one of the things that, you said one of the challenges. Let's go back to that. One of the challenges were being taken serious.
Right.
Because again, I was young. I'm African American,
right.
So it was a big thing about having my presentation correct when I go out there, knowing what to say, how to articulate why I'm here, who to talk to in the end. So those were the things that I had to navigate, first. And then our first hiccup was basically understanding contracts.
Right.
Like that was the biggest thing. So imagine this, you spend 40,000+ on a deal, and then 6 months later it gets taken from you because you don't understand contracts.
Right.
So that was the biggest hurdle. So understanding that, so we got kicked out of our first location 6 months later because we didn't understand how the structure of the contract was.
Right.
And so that was a hard lesson, but it was a learned, paid lesson that we knew from that point on, get our contract right, So it was the best thing that we knew from that, moving forward. So it's saved us,
Well, I remember from my experience, again, I'm a realtor. I have a real estate business full time, and I sell real estate. But I work for myself as well, so my schedule is flexible. And I wanted something to supplement my income, other businesses. So I remember having the vending machines, and thinking of what, back to the question, what were some of the challenges? I remember having to buy all that food, candy and honey buns and cinnamon roll, all this stuff,
definitely.
Pop-Tarts from Sam's, and I've got all this stuff stored at my house in Snickers bars.
Missing later.
And I swear I must have gained 20 pounds because
Wow.
that stuff's sitting around my house, and I'm at nighttime and I'll just eat one honey bun. But the couple locations I had were really busy, and so these things had to be filled up daily almost. And it's 100 degrees in Houston.
So you were in the vending machine business too,
right? Just like I had 3 machines, so it wasn't big. One at my office, and then 2 or 3 of them at this. My friend owned a technical training school, so there was tons of people in there. So it was just this one location.
Yeah, that was a really good location.
And, right. And so it was, but the problem is it's 100 degrees in Houston, and your Snickers bars are melting in the car. And it was kind of taking up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But so those were some of the challenges, but I guess, they were making a lot of money, but at the same time too, I was thinking, oh man, this is kind of more of a headache, so it was one of those things, a lot of different ventures I get into because we are entrepreneurs. I felt like I kind of got it out of my system, because I went and I tried it and stuff. But
that's the biggest thing is just trying it.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people in the business, that really do well, and then a lot of them build up those routes and sell them. But you kind of transitioned out of that side of the business into teaching people really about how to be successful in vending, but then also into the manufacturing side of it too, right?
Absolutely. We went from having our own routes, developing that business. Then we sold those businesses as turnkey businesses to individuals who want to start it.
Right.
So then from there, we got into selling equipment, servicing those equipment, repairing those machines. And then from there, we got into, actually manufacturing. So it was some gradual steps into it. But yeah, that's how we got into it.
Well, the business model, believe it or not, all three of us, I too was in the vending machine business just for a short period of time.
Really?
And there were
Okay.
three things. Looked like gumball machines. And the vending machine
capsules,
business,
yeah.
this was in Virginia. The makeshift office was right near Dulles Airport there in, I think, Sterling, Virginia, wherever it was.
Okay.
So the three products that we had, I forget the other two, but the one that I loved were M&Ms.
Okay.
So I would drive around. I would first try to place the little machine, right?
That's the big thing, yeah.
And
Location.
then I would go back and service it, and I had a big igloo cooler with M&Ms in it. So I would drive around, and like you're saying, George, those M&Ms sat at my house, but every once in a while I would dip into them because they were the M&Ms are so many
They're
great
right.
candies.
Yeah.
But
They're
anyway, that business was used in my scenario to facilitate another beginning business, which was totally in something else. It was in the nautical world, where the guy that I worked for was building a product for sailboats. So we used that to finance the helmsman's console, it was called. But anyway, all that said, the business model of the vending machine is fascinating because you place the machine, right?
Exactly.
And then you retrieve the money, you put in the product. But what are the products right now, Zatrik, that are popular in the vending machines that are around Houston?
Right. That's what I kind of want to ask. The vending machines that you're manufacturing or selling now, and I've seen them, these are super fancy. These aren't just Snickers bars that you see in a
Absolutely
break room
not.
of building.
Yeah,
You've progressed on it because, like, I was at the airport. I think I even texted you a picture. I think I was in Las Vegas or somewhere, and some of these vending machines are just, I mean, they're selling cupcakes out of them. They're selling just, what kind of stuff do you see being sold out of these machines now?
Everything. I mean, we've seen lashes for women, hair extensions. We sold sex products. We were talking, like you said, cupcakes, electronics,
Right.
books. We just developed a new clothing boutique vending machine that's going to sell actual clothing out of the vending machine.
Yeah. So if it's an item, they can create a machine to sell it.
That's our purpose. Yes, sir.
So you, as you said before, custom vending machines, you manufacture the machines. And the interesting thing about any vending machine, I guess, is it's mechanical. It's a machine.
It's a machine at the end of the day.
mechanical, so
Yes, sir.
there's a lot of parts, and as you know, you're making them. There's a lot of
Definitely.
parts.
That's
what goes
what-
into that design?
Well,
a lot of parts, a lot of moving parts, a lot of, my biggest and my favorite terminology is venture, joint venture. Being able to understand this is a great partner that I can work with, that we can actually collaborate to make something happen in the end. Because I'm someone of, not a lot of means, but I'm a very resourceful. So I'm able to connect the dots with a lot of people and create a vision, and then take that vision to reality. And that's how a lot of these, these concepts actually come out, because, they're just partners that we work with together. Like, we have a partnership overseas with JVC, and they create our LCD screens for the machines. So it's just knowing strategic partners who we can create this product with.
One question that I had about these machines, because, like, for example, your average soda machine, that's in there, I think you can buy them used or so for about $1,000 or $1,500, and
Yeah, definitely.
and you got to sell. You might have $1 profit margin. It just depends on what you sell the stuff for. But these machines that you're manufacturing now, and that I've seen, I mean, these things look expensive. Like
They can be.
And I'm thinking, how much stuff do you need to sell to be able to,
Repay ROI pretty much.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm just guessing that these machines are probably in the $10,000 range or something, right?
They start off about 25.
25,000?
No, 2,500.
Oh, 2,500, right.
And then they can go. We've sold one for 70,000.
Golly.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it just depends on what actually needs to be, dispensed, how advanced the technology, is, and so forth and so on. So yeah, it can get expensive. But the average machine, like lashes and stuff, you probably won't see anything top over $8,000.
Right.
But to answer your question, like, there's a difference in what we call traditional vending and custom vending, and the main like factor that separates them is the profit margin.
Right.
Like you said, when you buy a Coke or a Snicker, it's so much that you can mark that item up from, and it's so much that you can actually buy it from, regardless of how many cases you're getting from, Mars Company or whatever. They're going to have their percentage in there. Whereas with these custom vending machines like lashes, they're getting eyelashes maybe 10 cents, and they're selling them in airports and malls for $25.
Interesting.
So the profit margin is incredibly different. So they're selling less units and making more money, rather in traditional vending, you have to sell more units to make less money,
The technology as you manufacture the vending machine, it's fascinating because you have so many people using it. Some
Correct.
people, I would think, like anything else, and I guess they're sort of unattended in a way. Sure, there's cameras depending where they're at, but
mostly we promote manless retail. We want it to be something that is not you don't need a personnel to operate it. Yeah.
You'll have someone that might be gentle with the machine or just normal. Then you might have someone that has a heavy hand.
Of
In the
course.
design of the machine, what do you consider, what design things are you thinking about to make it reliable? Because it has to be reliable if
Absolutely.
no one's there, right? So
Absolutely.
how does that work?
It starts from a lot of R&D, a lot of basic, trial and error with the actual technology that you want actually to put out there. Our very first machine that we tried this on was a machine for Wrap Snack Corporation.
I've seen those in the grocery. Or
Now, what is that?
Wrap Snacks.
It's called Wrap Snack. I've seen them in the gas
seen it.
stations,
Yes, sir.
and they have like famous they're bags of chips. It's like
Exactly.
a chips.
It's a chip,
and there's
yeah.
like famous rappers on rapper like singers,
Entertainers,
their pictures are on there, and I thought those were so funny looking.
Definitely. You're talking about a multi-million-dollar corporation, that's started from grassroots, but we basically created, that was our first hands at making custom vending machines. And
For Wrap Snack. No
yeah, so we put a
kidding.
tablet on it so they could play their media, so they can play their, their actual videos on the machine.
That is fascinating.
And so from there, it was like, okay, we see that, you said some people use it, gently. Some people are very rough, so we had to over manufacture certain components to basically, combat those things. Because we don't want to have a situation where they're touched like now versus it being a small, like 16-inch tablet or a 21-inch tablet. Now we're making 40-inch screen vending
Expensive,
machines. Yeah.
I would think.
Where are they based out of, that Wrap Snacks? Is that-
They're out of Miami.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Y'all talking about M&Ms and Snickers and snacks. I'm getting hungry, man.
Right.
Did y'all bring some snacks?
Right.
I did.
Come on.
We should have. We definitely.
That's interesting.
I want a
so
Snickers.
So y'all built now.
Reese's.
Any other
take
big
a Twix.
celebrities that have built those? Or-
We've built a machine with partnership with Exotic Pop for Travis Scott. We've done a machine with Kylie Jenner.
Wow.
We've helped Rashida's brand. She's another entrepreneur from Love and Hip Hop. We've helped with her machine. Who else? The Migos.
Oh,
The
wow.
rap. Little Bootsy. So it's just been a lot. We hope to get back in the fold with Rap Snacks so that we can do the new rollout they have as far as like with Rick Ross and Cardi B and stuff like that as well. So we got some hope, but we're looking at Rihanna for the big deal. We have a cosmetics vending machine that's going to be doing like makeup and cosmetic products.
No kidding.
We want to go after corporations and get that.
Yeah, that's
Before we go any further, I want to remind people again, we're talking with local George. He's a realtor right here in Houston, Texas. Zatrik, Abdullah, and Zatrik. I know this is a fascinating topic, the vending machine. Let's tell people your website in case they want to look at it while they're talking, as long as they're not driving. But you can
please
check it
don't.
out.
Please don't.
They'll be able to see the various machines.
Exactly.
What's that website?
Well, you can follow us on all the social media platforms and YouTube at The Vend Doctor. That's THEVEND, doctor spelled completely out. Our website is vendoc.com. If you ever want just information about mentorship or how to start your own business, we sell a business guide that's on billionairevending.com. So check those different platforms out.
vendoc.com. The other thing that strikes me, I'm just now thinking about this, even at my church, wherever you go, you may not notice right away, but guess what? That vending machine's there somewhere.
It's somewhere.
It might be to the left of the door, to the right, inside, outside. They're designed to work out. They're an amazing part of Americana and everywhere around the world.
Absolutely.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
One thing that I've also always thought was really cool about you is, again, your mindset as far as like you said, you didn't come from much, growing up, but in your mind, you wanted to be successful.
I was going to be successful.
Right. Like you knew it, I guess, or at least you were, it's the determination. And that's what I believe is so important in entrepreneurs. And I think, that's why I'm attracted to people like you and others, people that have determination.
Definitely.
That wake up in the morning and they say, I'm going to go push forward. They have the drive and the fire. And I notice that in people, and that's the way I operate as well. But what is kind of, some of that mindset that you have as far as, goals you wanted to achieve and how you pushed yourself, things like that? What is your mindset? And then how does that still play into today?
Wow. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, the biggest thing is I set immediate goals that are smaller, I feel are easily to attain. And then I set those big, broad goals that are going to take a little bit of time to mature and understand. And so that keeps me sharp, per se, because I understand that those bigger goals are going to, they're going to take some time. They're going to take a lot of patience. And as an entrepreneur, we don't have patience. We're ready to go ahead, make this money, get out there, get successful, whatever we're trying to do. So to keep my ego stroked, I guess you can say, I make smaller goals, even if it's just making a new T-shirt, or cleaning up the warehouse or doing certain things, just so I know that I'm achieving where I need to go. I have that roadmap, because again, we don't go to this place or go to our workplace and have a blueprint. We're actually creating the blueprint every day. So for me, I download, all the information that I've learned that day, that night. I write down those little, tidbits of information that I like, what I want to actually implement that next day. And then I make sure that I do it the next day, and that's why I keep myself accountable. And most of the time I look at my kids, they always keep me on track.
Yeah, is that a motivating factor too?
Very. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten myself in order if it wasn't for my daughter, my first daughter, which she's holding the camera right now. Because it made me understand.
I've always heard you talk about her, so that's your daughter there. Very
yes, sir.
nice.
Yes, sir.
There's two helpers here. Let's tell people who they are. Your daughter's one, right?
My daughter, which is my day one, and then she has her day one Tarji with her.
Nice.
Your daughter's name is?
Zakira Elamine. Zakira.
Okay.
Doing great work here.
I appreciate you.
We needed them on every show.
And that was again, I always thought Zatrik, I'd always hear him talk about his daughter and his mom sounds fabulous too. But, I knew Zatrik was a good, hardworking dad and I always thought that was cool. But one of the driving motivators for me and my success, building up a large real estate company is, I was a terrible student in high school. I mean,
absolutely.
And it was almost like I wanted to, I guess, like some people say, the cliche, I had a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to prove everyone wrong, but it was like I knew inside my heart, even when I was making F's in every class and just barely graduated, I still knew deep down inside I was going to be successful. I just felt it. I knew it. I just had this drive. I might have been terrible in school, and some people say, well, why didn't you apply that drive in school? I don't know, but
this is a difference,
right?
Yeah, it's a difference.
So was that similar? How were you in school and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I was making, I was very, terrible in school because my focus wasn't there.
Right.
My focus was in.
It's a key word, yeah.
Yeah, my 11th, 10th grade year, I was already on the mindset of how I can make some money.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what my problem was. I was so preoccupied with how do I get rich. I was 15 years old, and I'm thinking, I want to just get rich. Let's get rich. Let's get after this. So it's like, you're right. I was thinking about all that, and maybe you're right. Maybe that's what prepared us. We were just like, man, this history and algebra.
Barely graduated. If my mom didn't come up and beg one of my teachers, I probably wouldn't have graduated. Right. So yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Well, one of the things we're talking about is that when you get that taste as a youngster of having a couple coins in your pocket, I know myself starting off, I don't know if I was 10 or 11, but my first job, I tried to apply for the paperboy job, and back in Pennsylvania, there's a paperboy job. I called the guy up. I said, look, hey, my name's Bill. I live on Logan Street here in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. I said, I'm applying for the paperboy job. And the guy said, well, how old are you? Whatever it was, I was 10, I was 11, I don't know, but I was 1 year younger than you needed to be to get the job. And the guy goes, man, call me back next year. He said, you're not old enough. I said, but I know I could do the job. I saw what the guy does. I could flip those papers. Anyway, so the upshot was my mom heard this ambitious little guy, me. She calls up the barber, Ed the barber, Market Street, Camp Hill, like a Norman Rockwell painting this little town was. But she calls Ed. She says, Ed, my son needs a job. He says, send him up here. So I had a job for a couple of years straightening the magazines, emptying that back when people smoked in the barbershop, emptying the ashtrays, taking out the trash.
There you go.
But when I walked home from that barbershop through passing the firehouse and the cemetery, I had about 50 cents in my pocket. And it would mount, so I had that feeling of independence, like, wow,
that you could
I
do
don't
it.
need to go to school. I did need to go, and I did go to school, but that struck something, and it made me hungry, and it made me see, hey, man, opportunities out there, even for a kid.
Exactly. You just have to go out and get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think these days I always wonder, I feel like, again, when I look at the younger generation, kids that are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I always wonder, well, where are the Georges? Where are the Zatriks out there? I mean,
Gotcha.
I know that God has to still make kids that grow up thinking the way I did, I would hope, or like the little Bills, the kids that want to be the newspaper boy, that want to, have those things, but I don't see them around as much. And I always think to myself, like even today, I look at on my street, I'm thinking, man, if I had to go make money, man, I'd paint addresses on the curb or, say, hey, can I wash your car or something?
Watch your dog.
Right. Like, I feel like if a kid knocked on my door today and said, hey, can I do this for $10? I'd say absolutely. I'd just be so impressed with their initiative and drive that they could just make I'll pick that stick up for $10 and I'd say okay.
And right now it's wintertime in a lot of places, even here in Houston, Texas, but up north we would have snow. We're knocking on to, can I shovel your sidewalk?
Right.
And another thing that was a little more innovative, there were parts going way back in our town where people would get stuck normally in the snow. I don't know if it was dips or that's where the ice was, whatever. Okay. But me and my buddies, we would stand near that red light so that when the car couldn't get out of the red light when they stopped, we're there, hey, we'll push you. And we push it. They might give us a tip or something like that. And by the way, a total random thing. Y'all remember the Volkswagen Bugs?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They had the rear engine. Yes. Let me tell you what, they didn't get stuck in the snow. They just went right through almost everything. Yeah.
Wow.
That rear engine was a plus.
Indestructible.
They can navigate snow. Anyway.
Now, Zatrik, what about one thought I had is, what about like when you first started out and you're having to go around collecting money and stuff? Did anyone ever try to rob you or anything like that? Or did you ever worry about anything like that? Or
not me.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for my company was I knew that I was going to be a niche focused type of business. I wasn't going to take every type of location that came my way. So we stuck to nursing homes.
Okay.
And so that being going straight to
tough
nursing
characters in the nursing home.
It is. They try to get you. They do try to get you. They some slickers. I mean, they'll say, hey, I lost my money and all that type of stuff.
They'll team up on you.
Exactly. So, but that I rather deal with versus, like you said, having the threat of getting hit in the head. So
right.
That was my off putting on that as far as not being able to worry about getting robbed.
If a machine doesn't work, okay, the machine's placed somewhere at some building. If it doesn't work, something mechanically is wrong. How do you know about it, and how can you tend to it in a expedient manner? Or how does that work?
Well, when I ran my route, there wasn't any technology. Like there wasn't credit card readers or anything on vending machines to be able to tell us. Yeah, so we actually didn't know that a machine was down unless someone called.
But you put a phone number.
Yeah,
right.
we had a phone number.
That's what I
whatever.
did. I just had a phone number.
But most of the time, people didn't. They really didn't call you unless they were friends with you. Right. Most of the time, they were going to let you, say, hey, when you got there, hey, the machine took my money. The machine, use that as an advantage point to be able to get something for free or get free money or whatever. So we really didn't know how to do it. But now the technology is so vast. I mean, you have telemetry, you have forecasting software that you can put on the machine to where you can literally, I could see what transactions are happening. If someone, a product jams, I can actually tell that person on the machine, hey, do you want your refund or do you want me to turn the machine again to give you your product. So it gives them the option right then and there. So in the past, it may take 2 days, 3 days for a machine to get fixed. Now maybe 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours at the most.
I think the universal principle here is customer service. Obviously, you have a client, and if a client is not happy, I feel like you need to do whatever you can to keep that guy happy.
That's the basis of the business is customer service. Yeah.
So when I had my little vending machine, I had a little sticker up there. I said, call, this number if, anything happens. And yeah, every now and then, and if it's in a building, the same people are typically using the machine.
Exactly.
And someone would call and say they lost their 75 cents or something. I'd say, and I would just be, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll be there tomorrow and whatever, just to make them feel, because I thought, one, I don't want someone banging on the machine, and I think I even had a sticker, if it takes your money, please don't, hit, drop, tippo,
it gets bad out there. Yeah.
Well, but I think when people saw that, hey, they're going to be taken care of, but I actually have a recent story about this that is a prime point, is those big water vending machines that are in the parking lots.
Gotcha. The water and ice ones?
Well, just the water ones, like Windmill is the one that you see in a lot of... Where
you get the filtered water or the
pure...
Yeah,
you put your 5-gallon... thing up there, and I went by this one, and I put whatever, it was like $1.50 into this thing, and what do you think happens? Nothing. No water comes out. My money gets taken, and that's tragic. A big company too, because they have thousands of those. So anyway, I call there's one little tiny phone number on there, and I call it, and it's a recording, and then finally I get through to someone, and I'm like, hey, this took my money. And actually, it wasn't, I don't even think I talked to someone. I think I had to leave my info. Well, they ended up mailing me a couple tokens, so I could go get water again. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want tokens. I want my $1.50 back. And you think, oh, that's so insignificant, but it's the principle of it now. And I'm thinking, I'm not happy. And so I called the company and I said, hey, look, I don't want tokens. I have water now. And the place, it was out of the way. I want my money. Sorry, sir, we don't do that. And of course, the person on the phone is just some hourly. Right. It's not our policy. And I'm thinking, I love that. I'm the customer here. Yeah. And I'm thinking, you're going to let me walk away mad over $1.50? And I mean, right. No telling what, some unreasonable person's going to do to this machine that's out in the middle of nowhere here. But I really walked away thinking, man, that is bad customer service. And even in my real estate business, that is one thing that I think always worried me, is as I grew my company bigger and bigger, would other people that work for me take as good a care of my clients as I am? Exactly. So I'm constantly thinking about that I want my clients to be taken care of, just so they're absolutely happy, no matter what the issue. If they have a problem with anything, I want to just die trying to somehow they walk away happy. And I think that's a core principle in all businesses.
You try to go with every customer, or go, approach every customer that way. You approach it that way. Some customers that I've learned in my business with doing the customer, you just can't please.
That's true.
And they don't want to be pleased. So it's just, for those, you just basically do your very best, and you say, you do whatever you can to do to make sure that you are, I guess, dignified or whatever at the end of the day. So, but as far as, having good customer service is definitely a key thing to have. I mean, it's the basis of any business, like you said. So
that's what I always say.
It's fascinating, the vending machines.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you provide a good product, good service, good customer service, people are going to come back. I mean, you almost never have to advertise.
That's true.
That's what.
Well, then the world of the realtor, the referral. I mean, how many times I talk to realtors, how do you get your business? Oh, it's referral.
I know. Exactly. I almost never have to pay for advertising, because I try, over 25 years of doing this business, I don't think I've ever had one mad client. And if there was something that someone was upset about, man, I spent whatever I had to spend, do whatever I had to do, so they walked away happy, because I knew.
But you're local George.
Right. Exactly. There was this one client of mine, I remember, this client's a good friend of mine, and I've sold them multiple houses, and I'll tell you the reason why they stayed a good client. I sold them their first house, and the inspector went in, inspected it, and it was right before fall. Well, fall came, and they went to go turn their heater on, and the heater doesn't work. And they had a guy come over, and the heat exchanger, up there has a hairline crack in it, and that's why it's not working. Well, of course, they're first-time buyers and good friends of mine, and they're like, "How did the inspector not see that?" And I'm thinking, well, the inspector really isn't gonna. They don't really. They're a general home inspector. They don't look really close at heaters. Well, but this meant so much to this client of mine. Plus, I knew this guy, knew a lot of people, and he was up and coming in his career, met a very public. And this thing was about, I don't know, $3,000-$4,000 to fix. So, and I would guarantee you 99% of realtors, they would have said, "Oh, there's nothing I can do. Sorry, that's just part of." But in my mind, I don't know why, but something inside told me, "George, you need to get this fixed for him so you look like the hero." So I remember I think I called a company and I said, "Hey, I got to get this fixed," and they went over there, and I don't think I ever told my client, and who knows, they might hear this, but I don't think I ever told them that I paid for it. I just made it look like I was the hero, that I pulled some strings and I got this thing fixed for them, that it was,
But you pulled out the money.
Right.
Wow.
And I paid the money. But you know what? I made that money. And so, I don't know, let's say I had to spend $3,000 to get that thing fixed. And again, I made it look like, they're thinking, "God, George, you're the hero. How did you do that?"
Yeah.
This thing, because they knew how much it was going to cost to get a new one.
Gotcha.
But I was able to get a new one for free. And, but I had to spend the money. And you know what? And this is 10 plus years ago. I've made that money 10 times back.
I can imagine.
And not only that, but from them buying more homes from me, but you know how many people that guy has told and sent to me to buy homes? Wow. So sometimes you got to spend a little money to make a little money.
Always.
But, I don't know. I've always just had a big picture view to business. Like, I never thought about it in that very moment. I always thought, like big picture, like me being friends with Zatrik. I always thought, man, this guy's good. I'm gonna, not what he can do for me, but I've always thought, what can I do for other people? And then the more good I do for others, good things happen to me. But at the minimum, here Zatrik and I are, 10 plus years later, and we're still friends, and like to talk about our families and business.
Absolutely.
But it's just about kind of doing those good things, and you think big picture, long term. So
and George, let's tell people your website. There's people out there that want a super realtor like you, right. Local George Huntoon. What's the website?
LocalGeorge.com, or my name, GeorgeHuntoon.com. But yeah, that's the thing. I love to take good care of people. I'm going to treat you like I'm going to treat my mom. I'm not going to sell you a house that I wouldn't sell my mom, and kind of really represent you. I know Zatrik's called me from time to time. I know he's going to be buying a big house here one of these days.
Absolutely.
The guy's printing money.
Yeah, we ain't printing money. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Zatrix, what's your website? Let's tell people, because they want to see these vending machines.
Vendoc.com. Very simple. Vendoc.com.
So I'm thinking about this. This may sound strange, but I've lived the full life. I don't know how many years I have left, but I'm thinking about the vending machines, and I haven't thought about them much before until today. Okay. I mean, I'm going back to when I was a little kid at the swimming pool in Pennsylvania, where you had the ice cream sandwiches. You'd open the door.
Yeah.
How they stayed cold in the summer, I don't know. But all of us, if we think in our lives, we've had relationships with vending machines
all your life,
whether it's buying a soda or whatever else. And it's fascinating. In fact, I want to ask you what the future of the vending machine is, but I'm going to tell you, even way back, 60s, 70s, early vending machines, whenever I don't know when the first one, Caesar Augustus used to have one. Anyway, no. So, but whenever the first one was, vending machines might have been the early robots.
Right.
Huh? Think about it. And then they stand there.
I remember seeing the ones like the 50s and 60s. They'd cup of coffee, or the ones where, or the little diners where I think you could put the money
cup drops.
Or you pull out the piece of pie or something at some of those.
We've had good memories of vending machines in our lives at every age. Where's it going? What's going to happen in this 2022?
The sky's the limit. We see. I mean, we're getting ready to gear up for NFTs. So we're getting into that space. Again, maybe you see the Carvana. They're dispensing
That's
cars.
right. There you go. There's part of the future down the evolution.
Car vending.
So I see it going.
And that's a big hit, they say.
A big hit. It's a big
That's
franchise.
a good point. When I say what can you sell, there you go. They're selling cars.
They're selling cars.
What about
maybe
George?
houses? Yeah.
That's right. You can buy a house from a vending. I'll just put the deed in there, and just buy the deed right out of the
Hey, we
darn
might be
vending
giving
machine.
someone an idea. We may have to have our own
I
little
know. We
meeting
might
here
have to.
now.
We might have come up with something right there.
The house vending machine. Who knows?
No, but I see that it's basically the sky's the limit. I mean, it's so vast because it's basically evolving with other products. As they keep creating new products, vending machines are here to help dispense it.
And if someone's out there listening today, they have a business or they have some kind of waiting room or I don't know what, but what if they want a vending machine? Can you help them if someone says, I think I need some liquids or some kind of soda or some kind of health drink? You got vending machines for that? And can someone call you and get one?
Absolutely. I mean, we're definitely.
What if I want to?
We're the local residency for vending machines. We can come to us and get used, brand new, whatever you need. Snacks, soda, combo machines, ice cream machines, like you were speaking of, coffee machines, office water systems.
So you tailor it to their needs. I call up and say, look, here's
Exactly.
my business. It's like this. I'm open from here to here.
Exactly.
How many do I need? What do you recommend? It's like a consultation.
Exactly.
Simply, people can go to VENDOC.com, right?
Exactly. VENDDOC.com.
I can't wait to get on the website.
Now you've kind of gotten into mentoring and helping people, build their business. I guess you have a course that you've kind of put together and
Absolutely.
sell.
We actually left it in the truck. We have business guides for both, some gifts for the
very
guys.
nice.
That way you can actually check it out. So that guide is pretty much 15 plus years of information of how I developed the business through, how to do cold calling, different scripts that we used, the different marketing, tools that we use basically to give to, incentives,
Business in a box, basically.
Business in a box. It's basically a USB drive.
Yeah.
You plug it into your computer and just flip through it.
I tell you, that's where the money's at. Same thing in real estate. I have people that the big thing in now is selling stuff to as far as like coaching and selling my 20 plus years. You have 15 plus years of knowledge that you're passing on. But have you worked with any taking someone that was kind of a young guy, or a young person, and they're starting out and kind of watched them progress to success?
We were one of the first to, I guess, help the Exotic Pop brand, as far as with their, technical needs and helping them with machines. And that company is morphed into like a phenomenon, like worldwide brand now, just from some local vending machines. So
that is one of the greatest feelings of starting out. And I do that too when I see someone wanting to start out in real estate and helping them grow. And my biggest hope is that they'll be a huge success.
Exactly.
And someday they'll be on stage receiving a big award and they'll say, man, I want to thank George for, starting out at the beginning, giving me my shot.
We hope that.
Right.
Yeah.
I love seeing people be successful. That's
the biggest thing. Yeah.
That's a reward in itself. That's a giant reward.
It is.
And sometimes the main motivation why we do something. Zatrik, I just had another idea. You're going to want to put me on your council.
Okay.
How about this? The vending machine is like a slot machine. You put the money in, except the vending machine you never lose because you always get something back.
So,
come on, is that something?
I can see that.
Because
it's got like a token vending, like you basically put your coin in.
You put your money in, but you always get something. The slot machine, you put your money in, you might lose. I'd rather have a vending machine.
Gotcha.
Let's have a casino vending machine. It's all vending machines. Anyway,
Right.
So
that sounds cool.
Okay.
I guess
We'll
you
talk
get some
later.
type of prize, regardless.
You always get something.
Well, they have the I guess you have the like coin operated, video games and stuff, and then you have the ones where they have the
Little
claw.
cream.
You come down.
That one you lose on.
Right, and some people get addicted to those things.
They do.
But I was thinking the earliest memories that are just children magnets are the ones at the grocery store, and you put 25 cents in, and you get some piece of junk like little ring or tattoo or gumball. I mean,
The horse
baseball
that you ride
cards,
on
yeah.
when your
Right.
mom went to the
Oh,
grocery
yeah.
store.
Well,
There
of
you go.
course, that
Yeah.
one. But
There
they
you go.
still have those little
still have
the
well,
coin operated. Do they still have those in the groceries? I don't
Not
know
too
if I've
much.
seen them anymore.
Not
Why
since
did-
COVID.
where-
They started to really
yeah, but I
remove
think
that
they were
stuff.
gone before then, though.
People weren't probably maintaining them.
Yeah, maybe. It's universal. I mean, a kid's a kid. 25 cents is, to see that machine. Man, someone needs to bring those back. That's kind of old school.
Nostalgia, yeah. We'll bring it back, yeah. We'll do that.
I wonder when, going back to that idea, though, wonder when the first vending machine was, or the early forms. Now you got me look. I'm going to look that up on the internet.
You know, I think the problem is these days is no one has 25 like coins in their pockets. Really.
Yeah. Now, how many businesses you go into? At least this week, I've seen more than ever cashless business.
Right.
You see that? I just saw
That's
that
the
this
biggest
morning.
thing. Yeah.
But
Nobody really wants to carry cash anymore. You know.
Yeah, that's true. But I think you're right. I think the little pony outside, the 25-cent, 50-cent ride, I think I still see those every now and then, like outside of Fiesta or something, somewhere like that, those little coin-operated ones. But, I mean, those are great childhood memories.
They are. They are. I mean, but, you know, we'll bring it back, George. How about that?
I know.
We'll bring it back.
I'm going to get – well, I know. Like vending, I always saw, like in the malls, the massage chairs that you can put the and I remember I even looked into that one time because I'm thinking in an office building, you know, people are stressed out. They want to take a – you know, like in the lobby of this building. I mean, why isn't there a, you know, massage chair? I mean, they may not have the room, but, I mean, my gosh, you know, they're at the airports. They're at the malls.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
if someone has a obviously, if I have a vending machine in my business, I'm going to get money for it. I'm going to make some money. Would that be correct?
If it's your machine, yes. If now you're the business, you own the building, then you still get some money, but it's probably in the form of
But if I get a
commission.
machine from you and I say, hey, let's get a machine here with sodas,
Okay.
but I'll get a cut of that, how does that work?
Yeah, we can work that out.
Yeah, it's every deal's a little different. Like for example, like
So it's tailor-made, just like which machine you're going to
right.
get.
Like some businesses, I remember one of my machines. They were like, "Oh, hey, you know, we'll let you put it here for $100 a month or something like that." But then other places were like, "Just bring a machine and put it in here."
Just
we
for the
just
sheer
want
convenience.
people to be taken
right.
care
We
of.
just want our employees to be happy and have some Cokes,
you go.
keep it filled
Those are the
up.
locations we love, right there.
Yeah, and so and then and I think most buildings are like, you
What can
know,
we
hey,
do?
this guy's a small business guy. Why am I going to take $100 from him to have his machine? But if you're one of these deals like a big school district running a contract of 1,000 machines, of course, you know, I'm sure
Yeah, those are huge deals. Those are bidded out and go through the procurement department and all that kind of stuff.
like a
But
big deal like that. But
yeah, that's like a multi-million-dollar deal.
So we got about 5 minutes left. But where does the time go when you're talking about vending machines, success, and
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
all
sir.
the
Yes,
things
sir.
that go with it? So
Well, I just want people to have the mindset. People that are out there listening right now, we're at a time where I think a lot of people are wanting to, they call it the great resignation. A lot of people are quitting their jobs. They're wondering, how can I create a business from home? What can I do? Should I get into real estate, vending, whatever it is? But that's what I want people to have the confidence in doing, is thinking that, you know what, you can do something, but
Absolutely.
I think the key is you got to just have that drive in your heart, and like they say, do something you love. But of course, we love making money. But that's what I want to inspire people to do. And like Zatrik and whoever, just, be inspired to go out and, try to start something on your own.
Definitely.
And Zatrik, you are known as the Vend Doctor, VEND, and of course,
Absolutely.
vendoc.com. Last couple minutes, Zatrik, what do you want people to know? And I know you're helping people out there. You're at the part of success where you're trying to give back as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So first, I would like to say thank you, for having me on the show,
Absolutely.
having me on here to be able to spread the word, spread the message about the vending industry. But what I like people to know is that, again, like, to reiterate what George said, is just the possibilities are endless. I mean, you just have to start. That's the biggest thing for anyone, is just getting out there and taking that chance. Failure is not final, so it's only the beginning. So you can continue and learn. That's the biggest lesson that I've ever gathered through, my 20 plus years and as an entrepreneur, is that's the biggest thing that I ever could do, is learn from this. So, but what I want to come to the table is, like, if you have any ideas, any concepts on how, you want to add to vending, definitely come check us out. Again, check out the NFT. We have a merch line that's dropping. That's the vendswag.com. And we have some really fire, merchandise that we're going to give both of you guys so y'all can rock.
Nice,
But,
nice.
That's pretty much it. Other than that, I appreciate y'all time.
There you go.
Definitely.
And George, the real estate market, give us a quick word. Those that listen in Houston, Texas, how many more people are going to come here
I know,
to
man.
Texas
I
and
tell
our
you, I
city?
have more California
Hey, that
clients.
means more business for the vending
Chicago.
machines,
That's
right?
what we need. They're bringing these businesses down here. So
They're all, I know. They keep coming.
That's unreal.
But I tell you, this is the time to sell your house if someone wants to sell, that's for sure. Look me up, localgeorge.com or 713-870-9747. But, yeah, we should talk for sure.
Give that number again.
713-870-9747. Yeah, give me a call. I can at least just tell you what the market looks like and how much money you can get for your home right now.
Yeah, inventory's low, so it's a good time to sell. Zatrik, if someone wants to give you a call, what's your number?
Simple, 832-419-8556. There we go. 832-419-8556. There you go again.
That sounds pretty awesome. So, guys, I just thought about that. All the people moving. So, and I go up and down a lot of roads, but that 99, if you go north on 99, I don't know if you've done that lately, there are so many massive buildings. The Amazon,
warehouses,
the Federal Express, they got vending machines in there, I'm guessing.
Thousands.
Unbelievable.
Thousands of vending machines.
People are coming to Houston, Texas.
Houston is boom town right now.
Absolutely.
It really is.
And this is, that's where the opportunity is. Talk about success. If you want to have success, this is where, it is the wild, wild west here. If you want to make money, you can do it.
Yeah.
Well,
whether it's painting an address on a curb or, cutting someone's tree,
or filling up some vending machines.
Or filling up a vending machine. There is money to be made with any idea.
Is there one product that's the most popular product that goes in the vending machine? The one or two? Is it sodas? Is it?
As far as with traditional or customer, period?
Yeah,
period.
Like a traditional.
Overall, the big crowd.
Well, traditional, the hottest selling product is going to be Coca-Cola. And Snicker bar.
Snickers.
There's some success there.
Snickers was always the big
How about
seller.
those guys at Coca-Cola, man?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. $1 trillion company.
That is amazing. So thank you all for listening to Successful Living with Bill Nampick. And today, Successful Living with Local George. That's right, George Huntoon, one of the top realtors right here in the fourth largest city, soon to be the third, they're saying, as people are flocking here to Houston, Texas. We're glad you're on your way. Some people might be listening as they're driving here with their U-Haul or whatever else. That's right, and also Successful Living with Zatrik Abdullah, the Vend Doctor, V-E-N-D, VenDoc.com. It's that simple. And once again, Zatrik, we want to thank your helpers here today. What's their names? Let's tell them again.
We have Shooter 1, that's Zakira El-Amin, and Shooter 2, Miss Tarji.
You know that we've arrived, George, with a successful radio show when
Right.
you have Shooter 1 and Shooter 2. Some shows don't have any.
We got
There you go.
our live recording, social media. Man, this is great.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
awesome.
Yes, sir.
And once again, thank you all for listening. I'm going to say Happy New Year, maybe another couple shows, because I'm excited about 2022. To find out more about the shows I do and this show or past shows, simply go to Radio Bill. It's easy to remember, radiobill.net. That's radiobill.net. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Local George. Thank you, Zatrik.
Thank you.
And we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week, radiobill.net. And thanks for listening.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Are you having trouble getting the Wi-Fi to work in your home? You know, if the home is over 4,000 square feet, it's going to be really tough to get the box from the service provider to do the job for you. Let me tell you about Jacqueline and Donnie from Media Systems. They have a team of high-tech professionals that know how to solve this. They also work on all kinds of home automation systems like Crestron, Lutron, and Control4. Look, if you don't mow your own yard or work on your own car, why are you wasting time with this stuff? Call Jacqueline and Donnie, your home technology advisors, and have their team take care of this for you. Media Systems has been in business for 40 years in Houston, and they're ready to help. Check them out at mediasystems.com, mediasystems.com, or call 713-426-0900, 713-426-0900, mediasystems.com.
Tune in to Successful Living with Bill Nappick, a unique, engaging lifestyle program Sundays 8 to 9 p.m. on 950 KPRC. That's Sundays 8 to 9 p.m. Successful Living with Bill Nappick. Go to radiobill.net for more info.